Okay, I think we're back on. We're adding some people. I see that Matt and Sareve are joining us. So if we get everybody back, guys, I think we'll get Mona back in just a moment here.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Matt, how you doing, Sareve?
I just
Hello,
got back.
Deb.
I just got back from Des Moines.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
we've got a recording of the first session, so you'll be able to see that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You bet. And this is the first class that we've had everybody here except one person. So congratulations, guys. This is a great group that has joined us today. And I think we probably have some more that are coming on here. I may call Mo just to make sure she's looking at the second invite. I don't see her coming, so I'll give her a call.
I'll just sign back in. I just had to move around.
Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. Wanted to make sure everything was okay for you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, she'll join us in just a minute. So I hope you're enjoying her talk. I know this has really concerned me. I'm going to talk about my experiences with mental health. I had a couple students when I was the director of the MBA program, and one of them is a really serious problem. She thought that computers were evil, and she couldn't use computers anymore. So she came back to the program and then was not able to continue to finish the program. And then I had another fellow that was he was only one class away from graduating, and he plagiarized a second time and was just really having some kind of bizarre behavior. So those are my two problems that I had with students that I've taught before, and both of them were had some mental health problems. So, okay, Mo is back. I will mute myself and on we go. Thank you. You're still muted, Mona. Sorry.
Okay, so I unmuted. Now I'm trying to reload my slides, so it'll just give me a minute here.
That's fine. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Why is it doing that? It wants to share. Oh, I know. I got to go to Zoom to share it, I think.
Yeah.
I keep going to somewhere else. So gotta learn. There we go. All right. Okay, so we kind of stopped here about mental health and mental illness, and I really wanted to get to this slide. Hey, I see some more people. Their pictures.
Yeah, good.
Welcome. Matthias?
Yeah,
Good to see you.
you too.
So can I ask you where you're from?
I'm from Portugal.
Wonderful. You've got a lot of stuff going on in your country with hurricanes and devastation. And yeah, so were you impacted at all by the hurricane?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm not there right now.
Yeah. Well, welcome here. So we're just talking about mental illness, and this particular slide, I think, is a pretty important one. If any of the slides that you remember, or I don't know, it may not be relevant now, but perhaps at some point in your life, you or a friend or someone in your family may have one or more of these warning signs. So, it could be sadness and crying. It could be someone who's doing severe, like risky behaviors that they don't normally do, like drinking too much or drugging or sexual promiscuity or whatever, or gambling. And there could be some anxiety or fear or eating problems or seeing things, kind of as you read through the list. So, the more checks that your friend or colleague or your family member has, the more like serious it is. So, and college students are at a great risk for anxiety symptoms, for suicide, for depression, and now you put COVID on top of this. So it can be a very difficult time. So I myself know, even as a psychologist, I've been struggling with some sleeping problems with COVID, worry and fear, not really certain about the future. I have a daughter who is just delivered a baby, but for the past 2.5 months, I've not been able to. I had to stay away from her because we did not want to expose her to any viruses, So does anybody have any comments about or thoughts on this page? Can't hear you, Deb.
Just realized I was muted. I'm trying to stay muted most of the time. I was sharing with the last session that I've seen a lot of things on Facebook about eating too much. That number 4, not eating or binging or purging. They said, my clothes are shrinking. My clothes are shrinking. So the refrigerator is just too close to them, I guess. So
What I've heard in regards to the eating and the quarantine or staying separated is they call it the quarantine 15. So kind of like freshman 15,
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
I think just working at home and having access and maybe being a little bored at times,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anybody else have any comments? Like they're overeating, undereating, not sleeping?
I'm fat for sure.
I can't
Kind of.
tell, Matt. All I see is a black box.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My computer actually got stepped on earlier this month, and so my camera doesn't work.
Was it your own weight?
Yeah,
Yeah. So are you guys getting outside or exercising? Because you can't go to the gym, right?
Of course.
So
Love getting outside.
you love being outside. Okay. Are you bike riding or just what do you do outside?
Taking a dog on a walk. Suri, what do you got?
Jogging, like on the
Jogging.
run.
Oh, this man's active.
Cool. Are people still training in their sports? I know I can't remember.
No.
No?
We graduated.
Graduated, closed it down. Do you feel cheated that you didn't get to do your final season?
A little bit, but that's life.
Wow, that's pretty mature.
Yeah, we've got soccer players here, volleyball players, softball players. What am I forgetting, guys? Baseball. A lot of baseball players in this group.
Show choir. Don't forget that.
Okay. Yep.
Wow, that is such a heartbreak. You train and train and train, and then that's for those of you who are graduating. So, how are you like staying connected with your friends or your classmates?
Me and Suri are here together right now.
Yeah, they're two that are on campus. I think
Oh.
I've heard from quite a few people. Tyler was one of them, that he was going to be moving home today. I think maybe with the end of April coming, maybe that has something to do with the renting of apartments or whatever. I think some people are moving because of that. maybe Emily. Emily, I think you're probably moving because it's the end of the semester. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. There's a lot of shifting and changing, and yeah, so yeah, that's all relevant. So just to kind of reiterate, if you or someone is talking to you about these warning signs, kind of validate and, be sure if it doesn't seem right or you're worried about that person or yourself, don't try to be a psychologist. Refer, connect them to help, which I know it's kind of a no-brainer, but sometimes we try to overdo, and it's really, I don't know, imperative that, you know, let the experts handle it, and that's using really good judgment. So it still means as a friend you can listen and give your thoughts, but if any serious symptoms, they need to get help. So, and we kind of talked a little bit about stigma, so I have people take the stigma pledge and then we all sign the banner, but we're not going to do that today. And just in terms of today with COVID and all the things going on, I think these are even more important on how to take care of yourself. And, I'm just curious, some people mentioned walking and running and, being outside with their dog. What other things have been helpful for you in terms of good self-care?
Anybody have any ideas?
How
Like
about
just
you,
working
Gary?
out.
Working out, okay.
I've been trying
Yeah.
to keep a schedule,
That's
like
brilliant.
not to lose my mind, like for like
That's
to
cool.
lose the feeling of time and stuff like that.
I've had problems trying to remember what day it is. I'm thankful that I teach on Tuesdays and
It's
Thursdays.
horrible.
But
It's horrible.
yeah, especially the 4-day weekend. I have Friday through Monday nothing, and I'll say, is this Sunday or is this Saturday? And there just aren't activities to define the days.
True.
No, no, and it looks like it's going to continue on. So, the new normal. So you're really self-care, as Mark mentioned, having a schedule, exercising, all of those things. I mean, they're going to be vital. So, and really trying to stay connected, even with the social distancing. In the earlier class, it seemed like Snapchat, Twitter, some of the social media is the way. Is there something that any of you like to, how do you stay connected with your classmates?
Are many of you on Facebook?
Yeah, like she said, like social media, like Snapchat, Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
Yeah,
So,
texting, all that.
okay, and it seems to work. Is it going okay, or are you like losing connection with some friends?
Some people, but some
If you want to stay connected with people, then they're gonna stay connected, right? I mean, in
Okay.
general.
Okay.
Well, Emily had shared with us that there's about 70 students on campus in the first session, early in the first session. So I didn't realize there were that many students that were still there.
That's amazing. So, but most of them live off campus, it sounded like, and that they go to somewhere, the dormitory cafeteria, to get a bag of food. So, is that what you guys are doing, the ones that are here?
Yeah,
Yes.
food's trash though.
No, it's snacks. It's not even real food sometimes.
Trash.
It's how can you just have a bag of chips and pretend
No.
it's like dinner?
That's terrible.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty ridiculous. I wish I could put in a good word, but I can tell you, I have a 23-year-old and a bag of chips. He'd have it gone before he even took a step. Yeah, hopefully, especially if, you know, I, so is is that typical with the cafeteria? Do they, what's going on there?
I mean, they're serving food, but like not good food.
So we're considering this food now.
So
Look,
Hey, those Gardettos were good though.
That sounds terrible for lunch.
exactly.
It's okay. We're poor. We can accept it.
Breakfast fire though.
Ah, so yeah, we talk about food insecurity in college students. And I mean, that's, you know, if you're depending on that for your food, they
Okay,
might be
Duarte just said, one of the other students just said it's not that bad.
oh, okay. Well, I guess it's all relative. It sounded pretty awful to me. So here's a few other things, you know, how to get help. There's resources out there if you have a friend, you know, and some references. But I kind of wanted to spend a few minutes on another kind of handout here. So let me see. This one we'll do really quickly. Actually, I have two to go. I don't know if I can share this one. Okay, hang on. Deb, I might need your help. For some reason, my brain is getting more tired on sharing.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you may have to stop sharing the PowerPoint and then go to the document and then come back and share again.
Okay, that might be the way to do it. Okay, let me, okay, there, now I see the screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, now one more click.
Yeah, there it is. There's the handout.
Okay, this is a different one from the morning, but it's also relevant. I think maybe I showed it this morning because we're addressing stigma and social stigma for people with mental illness. And I'd like to say that they're double whammy during COVID because not only do they have psychiatric brain disorders, but they may live in care facilities or large residential housing, and they're more vulnerable to the COVID virus just because of their living situation. But there's also other people too that you can see on this handout. As if we go down farther here, let me go down farther. So you know, people that work in nursing homes and people that maybe have to work in a meat packing plant that have a greater exposure, and they have to go to work and they're afraid and they're fearful if they don't go to work they'll lose their jobs. So there's just a lot of, like, I'm sure you've heard the jokes about the COVID-19 being the Chinese virus and the Corona beer and all of that. So those things are unacceptable in our society. And this handout references some of the do's and don'ts. So you know, we don't call it the Asian virus, and you know, we actually talk about people who have COVID. Rather than referring to it with nomenclature as they're a victim or they're a case, because it sounds like they've been arrested for it.
Yeah.
And people don't do it on purpose, believe me. So, you know, it just kind of highlights some of the things, and it's important to, and as college students, you probably know how rumors spread so rampantly. So just be knowledgeable and try to be positive, and you know that you're not alone. We're all fighting this together, and it doesn't matter if you're Chinese or you're Puerto Rican or you're from rural Pennsylvania or Des Moines, Iowa, or North Liberty. We're all together, and we thank you for doing your part as college students. I think I had mentioned to Deb that college students can get a bad rap about COVID. You know, as you remember some of the pictures from spring break, where the quote college students were all over the beaches of Florida partying and, you know, having a great time and ignoring the warnings. So there may be
Actually,
some stereo. What's that? Say again.
no, we were in Florida during spring break.
You
You
were?
weren't?
Yeah, we were in Florida during spring break, but we came back and I still haven't been affected by the COVID-19. I'm healthy. Like, even though, like, maybe we should have been more conscious during that time. It turned out to be good. Like, nothing
We all
happened.
had it in January for sure.
No. So, what was the mindset in Florida?
I would say during that time it was like similar to everywhere else in the US. People were not really taking it serious. I give credit to the president by saying that it's all a hoax and joking about it in the media, but like for me as a foreign student, I already seen how far the virus went like back in my home country. So like we were serious about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It was a hard time because there was so many confusing public messages, and you know, we felt, I don't know, a little safe in Iowa, and so it was, there was just I mean, it hadn't really become our reality. Although you're talking about in your country and many countries, we saw it on the news, we heard it, it probably was affecting, you know, your homeland. So and it sounds like this is going to be the new normal for a while.
Yeah,
So,
it
hey,
really made the impression like for people that it only started to like like people started to care about in the moment they somehow got like affected by it. If it's like their favorite sport getting canceled, if it's like somebody not being able to go to work or getting a haircut, and all of a sudden people were worrying about their own health. Before that,
yeah,
it didn't really matter to people. That was like the impression I had.
okay. Well,
And
it's very valid.
I know even from my point of view, my daughter went down to Florida to visit her son, and took, you know, the whole family plus a girlfriend, and they got some flack. But at that time, again, that middle of the March, people were just starting to wake up to what the dangers were, and they came home and they self quarantined themselves for 2 weeks afterwards. So like I said, they took flack, but they said they weren't really around a lot of people either. The place they stayed didn't have a lot of people there. It wasn't like a spring break crowd.
Yes,
So,
true. Like that's true. Like definitely, we also had to make our like we were not able to go to as many beaches as we thought we wanted to. Like couldn't go out as much as we wanted to. Like
mhm.
also we had to make our own like changes to our schedule. We planned on going to Miami, didn't work out. And I remember one day we were also sitting like the governor of Florida was issuing some statements and options how life is going to continue in Florida, and we all sat in front of the news like life stands still for a second because we didn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really true. Yeah. So um it probably was scary. Like maybe you were even afraid you couldn't get back. Did that go through your mind at all that they were going to lock down Florida and not let you leave?
I mean, yes, but like to be locked down in Florida doesn't sound as bad as being locked down somewhere.
Darn, huh?
Out of money and all that great cafeteria food, right? You
Mhm.
know, I mean, if you're down there,
Especially, we already figured out with the resort that we could have stayed there if everything goes on lockdown. So life could have been sweet, but yeah.
well, I appreciate you sharing that. We had friends that went, a doctor friend that went to Mexico with his family. There were quite a few spring break families that they were going to the Caribbean islands and the Caribbean cruises, and they decided no cruise.
Yeah.
Instead, they went to Mexico, but they were talking about shutting down Mexico. So I kept texting them all and saying, get on a plane, get out of there. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just very confusing time. Yeah. But
Okay,
I
Mo,
mean, so
Mo,
in terms,
we've got about 15 to 20 minutes left. And I know
okay,
that I think the one campaign you wanted to talk about is It's
yep,
Okay. If you can
yep,
vote that, I think that would be great for the
no,
students and your campaign
all
vote.
right, okay, I'll try to see if I can get it loaded. It's
Yeah, and you
gonna
might have
take
to
me a
stop
minute.
share again once in a while. Oh, there, it
It's
did
popped
flash
up.
up.
Okay, yep. So just in terms of, we have so many business majors and human resources. We're going to be starting this, and thanks, Deb, for keeping me on schedule here.
That's all right. But
We're,
it flashed up, but it's not there now.
it's not there now. Okay,
I don't see
so,
it anyway.
all right, let me go back to Zoom and see if it'll show up. Okay, Zoom, and then we'll go to share.
It just flashed on and then went off. So,
Got it. It'll come up. I'm almost there. Thank you. You guys got it now?
yes, 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 yes.
Does
Hang
everybody
on.
in the group, do
Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Okay, I'm going to try to see if I can get it up to the beginning. So this was a big statewide campaign in the state of Iowa that the governor and several others last summer asked us to help, to have NAMI take the lead on this. So it's been launched in other states, and it's called Make It Okay. So last summer and this past year, I probably made 10, 12 trips back and forth to Des Moines, learning about Make It Okay. And it's referencing making mental health okay, and working with the workplaces so that they're this, what I call the invisible disability of mental illness, is recognized, and employers understand the importance of making mental health a priority. So we're going to be doing a lot of really big things that were supposed to happen right now in the month of May, but we will still launch some of it, but the big launch will come in September, October. So those of you that are still going to be here, or any of your majors, business majors that want to help, like I'm doing, as I said, I think a webinar with business leaders, probably about 100 of them in May. And we have, at one point, I think we had 38 companies from the metro area sign up to want to be a part and to offer this, Make It Okay, to their employees, whether they do it through their human resource department, through their well-being program. And basically, we want the companies to incentivize their employees, kind of like, you know, how you all have your Fitbits, and, you know, you get a kickback on your health insurance at your company if you have so many steps that you take a day, or if your blood pressure is in a certain range. So we're going to have companies sign up and offer like podcasts, and listen to speakers and read the material, and they will get their health insurance decrease, their copay or their
Wow.
costs, or they'll get so many points. So it's really incentivizing employers to be sensitive to mental health. So there's lots of things online and media and ways that we're going to be spreading the message. So bus wraps and billboards and Unity Point's 4,000 employees were all set to start in the month of May. And Michelle Neerman, their CEO, said, well, you know, she's 100% behind it. But then COVID came, so we're going to spin it back to September, October.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, this is going to be really fun. And I need all marketing business whizzes with me, helping me. So if we have any of you guys, whether you want to do a summer project or just volunteer to help on one thing, you know, I mean, connect with me and I can make it work, and it would look really great as something very special on your resume.
Absolutely.
You know, really hands-on learning, experiential. And I'm also part of the handshake system. So I mean, I'll take one intern, two interns, three interns, and I've had two before, and they just were like on fire together. So, yeah, but there's lots of resources to be shared here with business employers, so I don't have to recreate the record, and just ideas to help them. But the last class I asked, and there were some people from the newspaper, you know, you can write a letter to your Mercy paper, but most importantly is just this public awareness and the public campaign. So, you know, if you can print out these posters and put them in the cafeteria or put them on your window of your dorm, or, you know, the more messaging about it and branding to get people to think about it and say, hey, I want to make it okay. I want to join. And we actually have training for mental health ambassadors. So it's a good, really good thing. And I don't have to recreate the whole campaign. I can just kind of have access to very quality things. So I
Mo,
would love.
Could you talk to them about the green bandana?
Yes, thank you, Deb. So just a question, have any of you from your high school or at college seen or heard about the green bandana?
No hands.
No
No.
hands.
No.
Okay, so it's kind of a mental health public campaign that is being put out across college campuses. And what it is, you kind of have a very colorful plaid green bandana, similar to the color on the screen here. And it's wrapped around the backpack. And in the backpack is like a mental health first aid kit. And in the kit are resources and like what, you know, how to get help and ways to cope, and, you know, just things that a college student who volunteers and is trained to sort of be a mental health advocate on campus wears the backpack with a bandana and is just available on campus wherever they go if somebody's having a bad moment or has a friend that they're concerned about. So I know Prairie High School has it, Kennedy has it, Iowa State has it, University of Wisconsin. I would love to offer it at Mount Mercy and to put some funds behind it to help, but I don't know. Would something like that, does that sound like a good idea for your campus and your culture?
Yeah, I'm sure people would like it.
I
How,
shared with Mo that I'm going to try to see if we can't get her into the freshman orientation. They do that at Co-College here in Cedar Rapids. So it would be good to get it at Mount Mercy also.
we would love it. We're actually trying to get a coalition of colleges to, of the presidents and the student leaders to talk about not just food insecurity, but mental health and suicide on college campuses, anxiety problems, you know, because there's a lot going on for you guys. And now COVID-19, wow. Yeah. So can I ask quickly in a very short amount of time, you know, how has COVID-19 impacted you?
We've got 4 minutes, guys. So
I don't think that there's been that many changes for me, honestly. I mean, might have saved me a little money, gained me a little weight, but like I don't change much of what I do. I still see a bunch of people every day. Like, I don't know.
Will it impact your job, your career?
Yeah, of course.
Probably
What way?
harder to find a job.
Yeah. A lot of places are closes. You can get like internships, you can get like jobs, so you can get like experience for like future jobs.
Does that make you sad or angry or depressed? I mean, that kind of sucks.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean, it's life though. You can't really like be upset about life. You
Really?
just have to take it.
You're pretty
Good attitude.
yeah, very impressed, you know. That
And
is
Mo,
good.
one last thing. Could you talk to them about that tagline? Make it okay to not be okay. Is that the
Yep.
right tagline?
Yep, you got it. We're going to have a lot of things that we've been sharing with the public through the Lynn County Public Health Department. There's a group of mental health experts. We've been meeting all the directors, and it's actually coming from Make It Okay. And the twist with COVID-19, and thank you, Deb, is it's okay to not be okay. That with the way the world is, the anxiety, the uncertainty, there may be moments where, you know, it's just kind of a hard reality. So, you know, I'm impacted because my daughter delivered a baby, and I'm not going to be able to hold that baby or touch that baby because I'm at too high of risk with my husband working in the hospital. I do not want to expose that baby. So I'm going to be outside the window of her house when she goes home, waving at her and the baby. And that's my first grandchild.
And
So,
guys,
you know,
the baby was born today. So for Mo to even be with us today is just, we appreciate so much.
Congrats, Grandma.
Absolutely. Was it a boy or a girl?
I'm on cloud 9. It was a little scary. Both the mother and the baby had a fever.
Oh, boy.
And when you work in the hospital, I was a nurse and a psychologist, and my husband, you know, your mind just goes a million miles a minute. So if you know, send good vibes or prayers to that, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
A boy or a girl?
A girl,
A
a
girl?
baby girl.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Mo, for being with both sessions. Let's give her a hand. You guys can use the indication of the hands too, if you can.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You guys have a
Thank
good
you.
rest of the week.
You too.
You too.
Healthy. So guys, breathe easy, be cool. Thank you again.
Ride the wave.
Bye. So Deb, what did you think?
It went well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, every time is different. Did you think is that typical of the participation?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It's probably going to cut us off here in just a second, but
No problem.
we can